So, okay, yep. Let me use one of my souls. I don't remember what denominations of souls give 5,000, but 5,000 seems to be what I need. Or 2 large souls of Nameless Soldier, and 1 soul of Proud Knight might do it. I'm gonna use the Proud Knight first. Oh yeah, now I'm actually gonna need more than that. So let's use large soul of Proud Knight. That should be good. And I think I don't need any more strength. I don't need any more dex. I'm not gonna attune any more spells. I think I can just pump into vitality and endurance from here on. Unless I really wanted to, at the last minute, add some intelligence or faith to my build, but nah. Now then, move that, use a humanity, and reverse hollowing. Now I'm feeling pretty good about this upcoming boss fight, because I will have help. I haven't done this boss fight in a million years. I remember I've had trouble with it before, but there are things I didn't know about it at the time, so... excuse me. I mean, I've seen this boss fight so many times, because I've watched so many speedruns and gimmick runs and LPs, but I haven't actually fought the boss in a long time. Anyway, I'm gonna go around. I do have to charge through the ghost area again. I don't think I need to fight any, but I'm concerned that they'll follow me. I'm gonna go for it. I have Estus to spare, so... Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, let's equip the Covenant of Artorias, which allows us to traverse the Abyss. We need that equipped in order to fight the boss. If you don't, bad things will happen. I will not demonstrate, but I will explain when the time comes. Let's just run by. You remember we had the corner back here with the convenient ledge here. Drop down there. Just got to deal with a couple of Dark Wraiths, who are chumps. I'm pretty sure the giant mass doesn't respawn, so I just have Dark Wraiths in here to deal with, yeah. Oh, gotta deal with 2 now. Whatever will I do? Oh, and there's a ghost. There's ghosts. Oh, man. I don't want to deal with that. Oh, I'm just going to charge through here. Okay, so, also got to find the summon sign. I want to say it's back here. No. Oh, gosh, I don't know where it is. Here it is. Okay, cool. No. No! Oh, I wasted the humanity. Oh, that's what I get for rushing. Okay, alright. Let that be a lesson. Here we have Witch Beatrice. You remember Witch Beatrice? She helped us out with the Moonlight Butterfly. And she is back. And I'm going to top off my health here. Alright, come along, Beatrice. And through here, we have a boss fight. But we've got an interesting situation here. It's that we have a long spiral staircase. On the right, might I add. So, contrary to the design of that other spiral staircase in the elsewhere in the ruins. And you may notice, 1, it's a very long staircase, and 2, there's just a giant pit of blackness in the middle. You can jump straight from the top ledge into the pit of blackness, which is our eventual destination. You run the risk of accidentally going too far horizontally and hitting one of the platforms on the way down and taking a lot of fall damage. But so here's why you need the Covenant of Artorias. Because down there is the Abyss. Straight up. And if you do not have the Covenant of Artorias equipped, you will fall through the Abyss and die. You need the Ring of the Abyss Walker to walk on the Abyss. Now, another thing about this boss fight, it's often referred to as a damage race. You just try to inflict as much damage as possible, and tanking is honestly your best method. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to equip some heavier armor. Not super heavy. I don't want to, go full stone armor. But I think I'm going to at least equip this eastern top. And that does mean I will slow roll. I know. It's true. But I'm willing to accept that. Also, I'm debating whether or not to two-hand. Because I do have a great shield. And it's a great, great shield. But we'll see. Also, I don't know how Beatrice behaves in this fight, so. Ooh, that was a long drop. Welcome to the Abyss. Now, what are we doing here in the Abyss? Hello, Beatrice. There's a boss. The Four Kings, as Ingward told us about. Now, interesting thing about... Oh, God. Did not see that coming. Interesting thing about this boss is that, basically, on a timer, a new king of the Four Kings will appear. So you want to defeat each king in a relatively quick amount of time. Otherwise, you'll be swarmed with multiple kings, and that's not fun. As you can see, each king here has its own individual health bar, but there's also a cumulative health bar down at the bottom. And the cool thing is, I didn't show it off there, I'll show it off on the next one, is that if you slash at the king while he's disappearing from being dead, he will take damage on the cumulative health bar, which allows you to get by this fight, fighting only as few as 2 kings, usually 3 kings if you're good. Oh, that was dangerous. Alright. And you can see why people refer to this as a damage race. You really want to inflict as much damage as possible in a short amount of time. Because look, there's another king already. Oh no. Come on, Beatrice, do your thing. Do damage. Avenge me. Alright. Beatrice, I don't know how you're taking so much damage, honestly. I don't know where that's coming from. I guess he's slashing at you and you're not dodging very well. Oh, there's the 4th king. So, okay, Beatrice is done. I'm dealing with 2 kings at once here. This is not optimal. But the thing, another thing about this fight is they do want to get close. Because the blades of their weapons tend to deal more damage than their actual weapons. Or that was wrong. The hilts of their weapons cause less damage than their weapons proper. Also, you know how these are 4 kings? There are more than 4 kings. So, I'm just gonna... Yeah. If that had gone for like 3 more seconds, I would have lost that fight. But 5 kings down. And we got a bequeathed Lord Soul Shard, and hello, it's another snake person. Or millennials, as the New York Times would call them. Also, I would have just made it even if I hadn't overkindled the Firelink Shrine. So I'm willing to accept that result. Okay, so first things first, let's look at the bequeathed Lord Soul Shard, which it's not usable, so it's probably like a key item. Yeah. Soul of the four kings who fell to the dark. Fragment of a Lord Soul discovered at the dawn of the Age of Fire. Lord Gwyn recognized the foresight of these four great leaders of New Londo and granted them their ranks and the fragments of a great soul. Although this is not a full Lord Soul, it can still satiate the Lordvessel. So I believe this means that Gwyn bequeathed part of his Lord Soul to these four kings in recognition of their greatness. Something like that. Anyway, you can see there's a bonfire down here now for some reason. And there is a snake person, much like Frampt, but quite different. Also, let me unequip this while I'm thinking about it.
Greetings, undead warrior. I am the primordial serpent, Darkstalker Karth. I can guide thee and illuminate the truth. The truth I shall share without sentiment. After the advent of fire, the ancient lords found the three souls, but your progenitor found a fourth, unique soul, the dark soul. Your ancestor claimed the dark souls and waited for fire to subside. And soon the flames did fade, and only dark remained. Thus began the Age of Men, the Age of Dark. However, Lord Gwyn trembled at the dark, clinging to his Age of Fire and in dire fear of humans, and the Dark Lord who would one day be born amongst them. Lord Gwyn resisted the course of nature by sacrificing himself to link the fire and commanding his children to shepherd the humans. Gwyn has blurred your past to prevent the birth of the Dark Lord. I am the primordial serpent. I seek to right the wrongs of the past, to discover our true Lord. But the other serpent, Frampt, lost his sense and befriended Lord Gwyn. Undead warrior, we stand at a crossroads. Only I know the truth about your fate. You must destroy the fading Lord Gwyn, who has coddled fire and resisted nature, and become the fourth Lord, so that you may usher in an age of dark.
Alright, so he just threw a lot at us. So part of what he said is in accordance with what Frampt told us. Gwyn sacrificed himself to extend the Age of Fire and became fuel for the first flame. Now, Frampt wants us to kill Gwyn and take over and sacrifice ourselves to reignite the flame and continue the Age of Fire. Koth wants us to kill Gwyn and leave, and let the first flame go out, and thus usher in the Age of Dark, which he claims is the Age of Men, whereas the Age of Fire was the Age of Gods, of people like Gwyn and Guinevere and Seath and the Witch of Izalith and all those people from the opening cutscene. And so it's very difficult to get Koth to talk to you, because you have to come here and defeat the four kings before you place the Lordvessel with Frampt. If Frampt brings you down and you place the Lordvessel, or you go down on your own and place the Lordvessel, Koth will not appear whatsoever. And so a lot of people don't even know this guy exists.
Very well. I shall now guide you to Gwyn's prison. Be still and flesh to me.
So I went through these kind of hoops to get Koth to talk to us, because I wanted to present both sides of this whole why are we filling the Lordvessel and trying to find Gwyn thing. Also, very nice touch. Frampt comes from above, Koth comes from below. Now, there... I don't want to interrupt you.
Now, place the Lordvessel upon the altar.
There is reason not to trust Koth, because you may remember from what Ingward said, one of the primordial serpents, it was Koth, tempted the four kings and gave them the power of the Dark Wraith and caused the Abyss to take over New Londo. Is that a good thing? Many people would agree that no, it is not. It is not a good thing. Because a lot of people died. But at the same time, you can kind of see the merit in his argument. Gwyn is holding on to a bygone age of his own power, afraid of what will come after. He's holding on to his legacy, so to speak. And the thing with Frampt is that, he wants someone else to take over for Gwyn. That person's going to have to be replaced eventually, too. This whole, seek out the next Chosen Undead to take over. It's going to have to keep happening over and over and over, so we can use more undead as fuel. It's technically sustainable, but gosh darn it, it's a pain in the ass, and it is avoiding the inevitable. So, is the Age of Dark really all that Koth is making up to be? Maybe. Maybe not. Will reigniting the First Flame cure the curse of the undead, if only temporarily? Maybe. Yeah. But at this point, things are the same. Both snakes want us to put our Lordvessel here in the altar. So now, placing the Lordvessel in the altar removes some of these orange fog gates that were blocking 3 areas in the world. And those lead to the other 4 big bosses of the second half of the game. And so, you either place the Lordvessel with Frampt and open up all 3 of those areas at once, or, if you want to talk to Koth, you do New Londo first. Some people like the flexibility of doing all the things with Frampt, and all it does is change what dialogue you get in one cutscene. Still, it's worth keeping in mind, depending on how invested in the lore you are. So, we can talk back to Koth.
Once the vessel is filled with souls, the gate to Gwyn shall open.
Lord Souls, BT dubs.
Seek Grave Lord Leto, the Witch of Izalith, and the traitor Seath the Scaleless. Fill this vessel with their souls, then the gate will open, so that you may kill Gwyn. Are you ready? Then let us return to the Abyss. Entrust thine flesh to me.
So the other benefit of befriending Koth is that you do get to join a covenant, if you so desire, with him, the Dark Wraith Covenant. And the Dark Wraith Covenant, it's one where you, I think, steal humanity from other players and then give it to Koth, and he'll give you things. I'm not going to join it right yet.
I shall grant the art of life drain, the legendary power of the Dark Lord. It can preserve your humanity while undead, and cast off the shackles placed upon your brethren.
Oh, the one other thing that Koth mentioned is our progenitor, who found the fourth Lord Soul, the Dark Soul, within the first flame. You may remember that was the furtive pygmy. It's worth noting, the furtive pygmy eventually gave birth to the race of humans.
Undead warrior, to speak now is premature. It begins with your retrieval of the Lordvessel.
I retrieved the Lordvessel.
They failed, every last one of them. They were strong, but saw not the truth. I am certain that you will prove different.
Okay, so apparently he's given the spiel to a couple different people. But back to that previous dialogue bit, I know from the wiki and from that little bit of dialogue, I think you can come here and meet Koth and kill the Four Kings before you even go to Anor Londo and get the Lordvessel. It's ridiculous to do so, because each of the Four Kings has about as much HP as Smo, but you can do it. Okay. Alright. I'm not going to enter the Covenant for now. So, I might deal with it a little bit later, once I've dealt with another Covenant, the one I'm currently in. They both require large offerings of humanity, so I don't want to split my humanity offerings between the two. I'm doing one at a time. Anywho, we can level up. And why don't we warp back to Firelink, and we will call that a recording session. I got a decent amount done. Only really fought 2 bosses and explored 2 areas, but it's interesting, and a major chunk of the second half of the game. Also, let's just briefly point out...
sorry, fool. You could not be the chosen one. Enough. I shall slumber until I am awakened again.
Yeah, so when you make friends with one primordial serpent, the other one will get angry. Either Koth will not appear for you, or Frampt will disappear for you. And there are advantages to having Frampt be your friend. He can eat items and give you souls in return. Some of them even have a good return on investment for souls, and he can break down Titanite shards, or Titanite denominations, into multiple of the lesser denominations. He has more advantages than Koth, honestly. But, anyway. Also, if you roll down here, you'll go straight to Firelink Altar, which is cool, if you prefer to go that way. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to do. There are 3 major second half of the game areas left, plus the DLC. I haven't decided which I want to go for. I'll leave the DLC for last, but I haven't decided what I want to do next. I'm thinking the Duke's Archives. So, let's do that next time.